Shalom, shalom, family. This Yah'S from YAH'S Assembly. Y'all know what time it is. The Psalm of Tour Day. Today we're going over Psalms 31. Now let's get into it. In thee, O Yahuwah, do I put my trust. Let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness. So that word there for trust is batak. And David, he never, as always, puts his own trust in his own strength, in his own wisdom, and his own might. He always gives it to the Most High. He always humbles himself. Bow down thine ear to me. Deliver me speedily. Be thou my strong rock, for an house of defense to save me. So when he's crying out to the Most High, he actually, if you pay attention, he be giving commands. He's, hey man, you need to listen to what I'm saying. I need you to become quickly to save me from this. Be my defense. Be a hedge for me. Be a house of defense to save me, Yahusha. For thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me. Because David always remains humble, he doesn't say for his own name's sake. Because the Most High, his word cannot return unto him void, and he promises to save those that love him and keep his commandments. Because he shows what mercy to thousands of those that love him and keep his commandments. Pull me out of the net that they have laid privily for me, for thou art my strength. So the trap that they set for me, untrap me, save me. Into thine hand I commit my spirit. Thou hast redeemed me, O Yahuwah, Elohim of truth. So we know that the Messiah, Yahushua, said that's his final words in the earthly form. In thine hand I commit my spirit. So David's letting them know that I give my life to you. I give you my essence. I give you my ruach, my spirit. Please, save me. Because you are the Elohim, the Elohim of truth, the God of truth. I have hated them that regard lying vanities. And we're taught not to hate, right? But I trust in Yahuwah. He hates what the Most High hates. I will be glad and rejoice in thy mercy. For thou hast considered my trouble. Thou hast known my soul in adversities. So no matter what's going on, he's focusing on the goodness of the Most High. And again, because the Most High, he shows mercy to thousands of those that love him and keep his commandments, even in his times of trouble. That's one thing that we got to get better at. Stop focusing on the circumstances. Stop focusing on how bad it could potentially be, and focus on his goodness. Focus on his strong, merciful hand when you're in trouble. Because that's where the Most High tries the reins and the kidneys, which is the kidneys of Kilyah, and the hearts of men, the mind of men. Y'all know we've been focusing on a sound mind. That's why the Most High led the children of Israel 40 years in the wilderness to see what they would do. Because he considered their trouble, and he wanted to know their souls while they were going through that adversity at that time. And hast not shut me up into the hand of the enemy. Thou hast set my feet in a large room. So he's just extolling the Most High about him not giving him over to his enemies so they could kill him. And then now the Most High, he's put him in a large room, a royal room. He's made him his anointed, his Mashiach, son of man of his day and his time. Have mercy upon me, O Yahuwah, for I am in trouble. Mine eye is consumed with grief, yea, my soul and my belly. Because again, the emotions lay in your kidneys. Again, that word, the Hebrew word is kilyah, it's the seat of emotions. And David's in trouble, and he says that his eye, notice that's a singular word, because when your eyes be single, whether you're rejoicing in happiness or you're in sadness, then you're of one mind, So he's trying to have the Most High to let him know with everything, with his single focus, to save him in his time of trouble, because he cannot save himself. For my life is spent with grief, and my years with sighing. My strength faileth because of mine iniquity, and my bones are consumed. Notice what David is giving his weakness to. His strength leaves because of iniquity. Now, if you look up the different definitions of sin, iniquity is the guilt or the punishment of sin. So that's like the final straw, like that's strike three. And his bones or his physical vessel is consumed. He's already grieving himself almost to death, and his strength fails him because he's but a man. And again, he's giving it all to the Most High. He realizes that as many enemies as he had, he couldn't trust nobody. Think about how stressful that must have been. Think about how stressful our lives are when we don't think that we have people that we can trust. You got to lean on the Most High. No man can save you. No woman can save you. No man or woman on this earth has a hell or Sheol or Shamain or heaven to put you in. But a lot of times we put ourselves in hell, in our minds, in prison, in torture, in torment. I was a reproach among all my enemies, but especially among my neighbors, and a fear to mine acquaintance. They that did see me without fled from me. So, I mean, he was a proverb, a byword. He was something to talk bad about. All his enemies, they would just gnash their teeth at him. But especially his family, because the neighbors in that context is talking about his own people. And we know that in this day and time, family and those that look like you do you worse than anybody. And those that did see him outside, they ran from him because they didn't want to be labeled, with him. Because in man's eye, he was marked for death. But they didn't realize that the Most High had marked him for life in an everlasting covenant of Melchizedekian order. I am forgotten as a dead man out of mind. I am like a broken vessel. I mean, yeah, because pretty much, his children, his sons, trying to take his throne from him. King Saul, all the stuff that he had did. They pretty much was acting like he wasn't there because they pretty much accounted him as he was dead in the grave already. Looking past him. For I've heard the slander of many. Fear was on every side. While they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life. So he knows these things, but he doesn't just hold these things in. He uses his his words, and he sends his petitions up to the Most High, letting him know, look, man, this anxiety, this depression, this mental oppression is everywhere. I can't sleep. When I sleep, I'm having nightmares about it. When I'm awake, I'm looking over both shoulders. There's no one for me to trust. There's no way that I can deliver myself because all of my enemies are trying to end me, take me off the set, cuz, you know what I'm saying? But I trusted in thee, O Yahuwah. I said, thou art my Elohim. Because again, he puts his batak, which is his trust, his confidence. He puts his amunah, which is his faith in the Most High. Not in his circumstances, not in the number of his enemies, not in his financial debt, not in his generational curses. He puts his faith and his trust in the Most High. My times are in thy hand. Because there's another scripture where he says that his life is in his own hand. But now he's like, look, I give myself away. I give it all to you. My times or my circumstances, my experiences are in your power. Because the right hand or the hand means power. Deliver me from the hand of mine enemies, or from the power of mine enemies, and from them that persecute me. So again, he's activating the Most High because he's speaking things that are not as though they were. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant. Save me for thy mercy's sake. Because again, it's not for David's own sake. It's for the Most High's righteous word's sake. Because he made an everlasting covenant with David. You know. And he honors those that are bold enough to pray, to supplicate, use their takina or takanen, which is to pray or supplicate for favor. And that's what David is doing, for the favor of the Most High's mercy. Let me not be ashamed, O Yahuwah. So don't let me, cry out to you for nothing, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave. So David is literally praying death on people. Let them be silent in the grave. There's different levels, there's different stages, and there's different types of prayer. David is literally praying death on people that are trying to kill him unjustly. Don't believe? Let's keep going. Let the lying lips be put in silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. Because these lying lips, that's one of the 7 things, the 7 deadly sins that the Most High hates. Be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously. That word contemptuously, it actually means wickedly, corruptly, against righteous or holy, set apart, people that are in right standing with the Most High. So they have the jurisdiction, so the Most High can be their power. Oh, how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee before the sons of men. So again, he's praising the Most High in advance, no matter what he's going through. Even though he could be at the gates of death, he's still praising the Most High, because he knows, even in the last hour, the Most High can pull you through it. Sons of men. Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence from the pride of man. Thou shalt keep them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of tongues. So we know that the Most High shows his secret, which is hidden in his covenant, according to David. But David knows what to do to get into that secret place, because getting to know the Most High, that relationship, it is a secret. That's why Yahushua said that you're not supposed to, just be praying in front of men and this and that. You're supposed to be praying and asking for things in secret. And when you do these things in secret, the Most High, he uplifts you, he raises you, he protects you, he puts you under his pavilion, and hides you from tongues that strive. Because that's all people want to do. They want to gnash their teeth on you, speak death upon you unrighteously when you've done them no harm. They get mad because you don't fall prey to their level of negativity, of speaking death on their life. Because we know that death and life is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. David understands these things. That's why he always goes to the secret place. And then he extols the Most High for his mercies, for his blessings, for his righteousness, for his unchanging hand that stretched out still, for that open door. That's why David, even if the door was closed, David knows, because remember, in a lot of these Psalms, David is like, hey, are you not listening to me? Why is your face hid from me? That's why in this one he's talking about what? Incline thine ear to me. Even if the door is closed, we're supposed to ask and you shall receive, to seek and you shall find, to knock and it shall be opened unto you. To knock and it shall be opened unto you. So David, instead of smiting the rock, what is he doing on the door? He's speaking to the door or the rock, which is what Moshe was supposed to do, but he didn't, because he let the anger, the anguish of people in that moment harden his heart, and he was filled with anger, because the Most High says what the Bible says: to be angry but sin not. When you transgress, even in the most minute detail, that could be the thing that keeps you from entering into the kingdom, or even into your next levels of blessings, of fortune, of favor, a promotion, a relationship, you know. So we just got to start being more circumspect when it comes to the word of the Most High and actually get in here and actually read it. And then if you don't understand it, you know, ask the Most High, He'll give it to you. Because with all thy getting, get what? Understanding. Because in this day and age, we got to have a sound mind. So we have to ask for it. And He'll give it to you, or He'll give you the makings of one. But He didn't give you one already completely put together. You got to work on it. You have to exercise it. It has to become a priority. That's the reason why nobody has sophronismus, self-discipline, self-control, moderation. That's why no one has tamim, you know, to be innocent, guiltless, you know, healthful, complete, or wholesome. That's why people don't have a whole mind. That's why it's always focusing on negatives and not the goodness of the Most High. That's why people don't have a what? The other word was what? What was it? Marpe. That's why people cannot get healed. Because the Most High be healing people, but they won't change their mind. They get stuck there. David says his enemies is on every side. There's nowhere he can go. But because he has a sound mind, because he knows that the Most High is going to send him healing to his mind, to where he can sleep at ease, he doesn't focus on that. He cries out to the Most High, puts the supplications up there, but he focuses on the goodness. That's why he says in 19, oh, how great is thy goodness. Even though he's going through all these things, these people trying to kill him, probably trying to poison him, you know, because you don't stay there. You make your supplication known, you be angry, you sin not, you know, and you do your best to love your neighbors as yourself, but don't make nobody a fool. Don't let them make you a fool. Don't. Be mature enough to understand, like, okay, I'm turning the other cheek, but you're not going to keep taking advantage of it. I'm going to still treat you righteously. But I see how you operate with your lying lips. You know, I see how you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. I see how you're all about this me and I culture. You know, lip service, those days are done. Because faith without works is dead, so you got to do something. You got to do something. I'll read 21 again. Blessed be Yahuwah, for he hath showed me his marvelous kindness in a strong city. For I said in my haste, I am cut off from before thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my what? My supplications, my takina or takina, when I cried unto you. So he was cut off, and he knows these things. But did that stop him from crying out to the Most High? Did that stop him from believing that the Most High could still bring him through it? No. Because he had what? A mustard seed of faith. But he didn't just have a mustard seed and keep it in his pocket. No. He went, put it in the ground, in some rich soil, and he watered it. And then he did what? He made sure that it was getting the proper amount of sunlight so it can start growing. And then what happens? When you're focusing on the good things of the Most High and changing things and focusing on having Marpe, you still got to pluck the weeds. It's a daily thing. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would have a sound mind. If it was that easy. If it was that easy, this world that we living in, this matrix, this simulation will be a paradise. But we know that Babylon, Babylon is literal hell on earth. Because this is another man's or another people's heaven. And every day it's a struggle. Especially if you're watching the news and TV all day. O Yahuwah. O love Yahuwah, all you saints. For Yahuwah preserveth the what? The faithful. You gotta cry unto him faithfully. You gotta be obedient faithfully. You got to show mercy faithfully. It's not just a one-time thing. It's not just a when I'm in trouble thing. You got to do these things faithfully and plentifully rewarded the proud doer. And you got to take, it's got to be like your pleasure, you know, because he rewards that. He rewards your faithfulness. And he loves those that it's a joy to do the things that are pleasing to him. He rewards them bountifully, plentifully. Be of good courage. Don't be afraid of these circumstances. Don't turn a molehill unto Mount Kilimanjaro. Don't. Because even the mountains tremble and quake at the voice of the Most High. They melt. Remember that. He's a mountain melter, literally. He calls all these things with his word. And he shall strengthen your heart. So this is one thing that people aren't praying for. Because when we are believing in the Most High to do certain things, sometimes we got to ask the Most High to give us strength. You know. Stop trying to do everything of yourself. You're not strong enough. You're not smart enough. You know. It's not about you. It's not about any one person. It's about him seeing you through, him bringing you through. You know. Just like a hen, and we're his chicks. He would have what? Gathered us. But you got to be humble enough to pray. My people who are called by his name. All you that hope in Yahuwah. So be of good courage. Not just courage, good courage. Focus on his goodness. Have faith in him. And move forward in power. Because we were not given a spirit or a ruach of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That power is what courage. Have courage. Don't just pray and have no faith behind it, because it has no courage, it has no power. And he will strengthen your heart. So I just want to say all praises to the Most High Yah, through his beloved son Yahushua HaMashiach. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad, and to the strangers that cleave to the covenant. Again, this is your Ak Yehuda from YAH'S Assembly. Shalom.
Whoa, 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 whoa.